Hello and welcome to another edition of Mainly NBA. Today we're going to be breaking down the race for the most improved player. Before we get started, I'm just going to kind of point out my criteria for choosing these players. I think in the last couple of years, have been guys like Siakam, Ingram, I know Giannis a few years ago, CJ McCollum. So it's typically been guys that have taken a leap from kind of like either role player or like starter to all-star caliber player. Now, I looked at the name of the list of a couple of these guys. Some might fit that criteria better than others, but I'm going to have six guys. I'm just going to mention their names because I think they're deserving of a mention here. And we're going to kind of break down my runner up and who I think is going to win the most improved player award. So, some of the names I thought of were Lou Dort for the Oklahoma City Thunder, Julius Randle from the New York Knicks, Jaylen Brown for my Boston Celtics, and Chris Boucher, or Boucher, I'm not exactly sure which, from the Toronto Raptors. So we'll get right into it. Who I think is going to finish second, or my runner-up, or my number two choice for this award, is Jeremy Grant from the formerly from the Denver Nuggets, now playing on the Detroit Pistons. Grant, the signing was initially kind of laughed at this year as an overpay and kind of looked like a really bad signing at the time. But I think he's proven to pretty much everyone around the league that he is much more than what he showed as a role player for the Denver Nuggets. Now, he is currently averaging, I believe, 12 points higher than his previous career high, and he's doing that on very good efficiency. He currently looks like he's a guy that's, like I said earlier, a borderline all-star. I don't know if he's going to make it this year, but he's certainly making a compelling case. The real thing that's holding him back is Detroit's lack of success, which is usually don't get a lot of very many all-stars off the worst team in the Eastern Conference. So that's gonna be something tough for him to overcome. But I still think he's playing with a very solid year, and he looks to be a player that that the Pistons can build around. Now, my winner for this award is, I think, to no surprise of probably anyone watching this, is Christian Wood. Now, Wood was a guy that, if you are someone that really follows the NBA, you kind of saw him emerge last year as a guy that looked like a solid starter. I mean, I think what he's doing this year probably caught a lot of people off guard, but I don't think it would be too surprising if you saw him averaging, say, like 18 and 9, something maybe not quite as extreme as what he's averaging this year. This year he's currently averaging 23 and 10, which is, let me just check my notes. I believe it's 10 points higher than his career high, and he's averaging, I think, 4.5 more rebounds than his previous career high. He's been kind of a journeyman to this point in the year. I believe he's played in the G League some. He signed a couple 10-day contracts. He's currently on his sixth team in 5 years, but I think he's finally found a home in Houston. Now, it was one of those guys that I thought it was crazy that Detroit didn't try and re-sign him. I didn't look at their cap space, but I bet they could have had both him and Grant. I think a front court of him, Jeremy Grant, and Blake Griffin would have been a tremendous front court to have, even though they might be lacking in other aspects. And Blake Griffin's been injured a lot this year, but still don't understand why Detroit didn't try and re-sign him. But he came to Houston, and so far he's been playing incredibly well. I do think this will continue. I think he'll probably get more touches, if anything, now that James Harden is gone. I know they added Victor Oladipo, but Victor Oladipo is not the high usage player that James Harden was. Victor Oladipo was going to take a lot of shots, but not nearly as much as Harden did. So it provides a great opportunity for Wood to get a lot of shots and for him to continue his case for most improved player. I also think he has a very good chance to be an all-star caliber player. As we see Houston try to kind of rebuild and retool in the next few years, I think he's going to be the main piece that Houston builds around. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll probably come back with another video breaking down the Coach of the Year race tomorrow.